Yeah, this was a tremendous experience, and we're very proud of the strides that our team took. I thought we improved a ton. It was competing in the Big Ten. I think was everything that we thought it would be in terms of the great atmospheres, the great venues, the incredibly high hockey, the great teams, the great traditions. I mean, it was just it was a phenomenal year to compete in. It's an absolute honor, and disappointed that we came up a little short today, but extremely proud of how far we've come. I think Wisconsin deserves a lot of credit, not just for today, but they've been a tremendous team all year, and they definitely deserve to be in the position that they're in where they rested last night. They definitely deserve that, and I think, not sure, but possibly played a part. I don't think we just didn't have any jump today at all, and maybe some of it's for playing a game, almost 2 games last night, and then having to play a great team like Wisconsin. So they certainly deserve the position they were in, and they took advantage of it.
Questions for student athlete Matthew Skoff? Right over there.
When you look at the number of 1-goal losses that you've had this year, do you look at that as with a frustrated eye, or do you look at it as that's just an indication of how close we are to getting where we got to be?
No, I think it's positive. This is a very tough league to play in, and the fact that we could stick close with a lot of programs, many of the games, I think is very optimistic. Tonight, obviously, Skoffer played tremendous. He played a lot better than we would hope he had to play tonight, but when you have great goaltending, that certainly helps keep those games close, but we weren't able to sustain enough pressure tonight. But to answer your question, I think I think the team feels pretty optimistic about where we're at.
Questions for Matthew. We'll hold the questions for head coach until Matthew is done. Any questions for Matthew? Right here in the second row.
Matthew, you played basically a game and a half yesterday. What was the experience of doing that and then coming back just a day later to play another 60 minutes and save like another 30 shots?
I mean, it wasn't anything. I think all year you play so much and you practice so much. Didn't really affect me that much. So I just think anytime I just get in the net, I don't even try to focus on what I have to do at that time. So just try to do my job every night.
Matthew, could you sense your teammates were a little fatigued from last night, that the jump wasn't there that perhaps you had yesterday?
I don't know if I can sense it. I mean, I'm in the net. I'm not really on the bench or anything. I didn't really get that kind of feel. I was just trying to do the best job that I can to help my team win. So.
Other questions?
Matt, Guy mentioned that you guys have improved a lot over the season. Have you seen much improvement in front of you from a defensive perspective over the past few months?
Absolutely. I mean, from our first Big Ten game, I think we lost, what was it, like 7-2 against Wisconsin. That was a 2-1 game in the playoffs. So I think that just speaks about how good we got defensively throughout the year with sticks on puck or just back checking to the house. So it was a full team effort, defensively improvement throughout the whole year.
Next question for Matthew. Thank you, Matt. Questions for head coach?
Guy, what happened on the bench minor? Bench minor that led to their power play.
Yeah. Well, we had a rush. We weren't, as you know, we weren't creating a lot, and we finally had a rush, but we had to jump up a defenseman to take advantage of it. So we had 4 guys on the rush, and I'm not sure if it was a bad angle shot on net or a pass across the crease, but when the rebound came out and we had 4 guys caught, and they ended up coming on what I think was at least a 3-on-1, possibly a 4-on-1, and I think one of our forwards just said, hey, it's 4-on-1 anyway, I'd rather have a 5-on-4 than 4-on-1, and he tried to sneak one past that. So unfortunately our Big Ten refs are pretty good.
Next question.
Can you talk a little bit more about that improvement and how optimistic you are for the future?
No, I'll take the second one first. Extremely optimistic. As I said before, it's an incredible honor to play in this league, and I spoke about the venues and the atmosphere, and I think Penn State, what we have in terms of our venue and our atmosphere deserves to be right up there in the Big Ten, and it's a ton of fun. It's very motivating. I think it attracts great student athletes. So because of all of that, I'm extremely optimistic, and I do think we've come a long, long way. Skoffer mentioned the difference between our first Big Ten game and the one that we just played, and there's a huge difference. Not only defensively, there's just a difference in confidence, a difference in our experience, and I feel like we're just a much, much different hockey team. And I think if you ask any of the guys, they'll agree that they feel a lot more mature than they did at the start of the year.
Question here in the third row.
Coach, obviously your goaltender played very well today, but how tough is it to slow down a Wisconsin offense where they've obviously got a big top line, but you get a secondary guy like Mersch who, is a top 10 goal scorer in the country at playing on their second line?
He's a secondary guy, huh? Well, he's been great against us. I mean, that's not a surprise to us. He's been great against us all year. He's a tough, big body to handle, and he's great on the power play, but he's also a confidence guy, 5-on-5, and tough to handle in defensive zone. They're a great team, as we know they are, and as you're right, Skoff played great, a lot better than we had hoped he would have to play, but he gave us a chance to win. But you got to give their whole team some credit too. I mean, I know he scored them, but they were very difficult to play against today, and they're an excellent hockey team.